Alright, we got a tribal day today. We're taking a look at the humans archetype here in Historic. Now, this is not something that has historically been very strong, but we're going to see what we can do about it here today. We have a lot of things that we can do. A lot of good humans have been printed. One of them has been Crucius. He is just a pretty strong card in general. He can help you find some of your top end, and he's a mana advantage engine that is just really annoying to deal with if you're on the other side of him on the board. We're going to be playing a bunch of other humans, though. Esper Sentinel is probably one of the better one-drops we can find in a human, and this just, generally helps us get some card advantage, and it's a blocker if it needs to be. And because we're playing a tribal deck, we have things like... Whoops, it's not this one. We have General Kudro of Dranith, a card that gives all of our humans +1/+1. So, the Esper Sentinel can be a little bit bigger, a little bit more impactful, and maybe it can be something that gets us through to win the game in the end. Who knows? We also have Invasion of Gobakon, which you've seen in the past on this channel, is a way to grow your board symmetrically and turn something like this little 1/1 into a force to be reckoned with. But this is a humans deck, so let's talk about the humans. We have Hero of Precinct 1 here, which is more or less what the deck is built around. Hero of Precinct 1, if you haven't heard it before, this is a Ravnica card from way back in the day. Not really way back, but quite a while back by this point, at least prior to quarantine. It's a 2-mana 2/2, obviously human, but also a warrior, which sometimes is relevant. And whenever you cast a multicolored whenever you cast a multicolored spell, this makes a 1/1 human. So, we get a little bit wide, and then we use General Kudro and Gobakon to make our things bigger. Another way that we can make things bigger is with Honored Crop Captain. This is a 2-mana 3/2 overrate human warrior, and whenever it attacks, your other creatures get +1/+0 until end of turn. So all these little creatures that you make with Hero of Precinct 1 can, become 2/1s. But Honored Crop Captain is also just not legendary, so you can have up to 4 of them. So these 1/1s could actually become 5/1s, which that will absolutely end the game. Obviously, Invasion of Gobakon is here. This is going to help us see what our opponents are up to, play around any board wipes, and maybe delay those. We're also running Garena Dauntless General. This is one of the semi-new cards from March of the Machine, and on ETB, she exiles a target player's graveyard. Generally, this is going to be our opponent. And then her other utility is to be able to make all your humans hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. More or less, she's here to protect against a board wipe, but sometimes if we have things like Crucius getting targeted, she can protect him. Let's see, what else do we have here? This deck is a little bit of a combo deck, and the combo that we're running is basically just building a wide board that is big enough to deal a lot of damage to our opponent, but not enough to kill them in one turn. We have Chance of Glory to make that into a almost definite kill in one turn. So if we play around our opponent's potential counter magic, we can just deal a bunch of damage to them, pop a Chance for Glory, and then finish them off when they would have thought they'd have another turn. Kind of risky here. I'm hoping we get to play this in the league, but we are going to see about that. Another one in this deck is Horn of Gondor. On ETB, you make a human, and this acts essentially like a Cranko, where for 3 mana and tapping it, you basically get to double the amount of humans that you have by making 1/1 human soldiers. I talked about him earlier, but General Kudro gives our things +1/+1, so he's basically an anthem for us. And then the real cool thing here is he's another angle of Graveyard Hate, and he's a little bit more flexible because whenever a human enters the battlefield, then you get to exile something. So while we don't have Flash, as our opponent starts to put things into their graveyard and maybe needs to wait a turn to reanimate them, say, we can deal with them with a General Kudro on the board. And then being able to sack 2 humans to destroy a big creature is also a pretty huge plus out of him. We also have Eowyn, Fearless Knight. This is one of the new cards out of the Tales of the Shire, or whatever the set is called. I can never remember the name. The One Ring set, Lord of the Rings. This is one of the new cards from that, is what I'm trying to say. And it's an interesting one because at a 3/4, the ability to exile a creature with greater power is not necessarily good. But the thing that makes her cool is that, one, she's got haste, so this can potentially surprise an opponent. Two, if our opponent is playing big stuff or doing the reanimator cheat things into play kind of deal, she's actually just a removal spell, which is cool. And then finally, our other legendary creatures, of which we do have a lot. We have 4 unique legendaries. Those things will get protection from that creature's colors, meaning that we can block effectively, we can attack through. A lot of cool things come out of this card. I hope we'll get to play her. Then the other thing that we can do is Heroic Reinforcements. This is a 4-mana sorcery that makes us 2 1/1 soldiers, and it can potentially also trigger a Hero of Precinct 1, and, you know, we can do a whole lot of stuff with this with enough mana. And the other thing is that it gives our things +1/+1 and haste. So this is potentially whatever thing we played before it this turn, the 2 1/1 soldiers, the Hero of Precinct 1 soldier if one is on board, all get to become a little bit bigger and attack in and mean a bit more to our opponent's life total. And then finally we have Revival Revenge. Didn't think I'd ever get to really play this card. I've really only ever seen it on Arena in combo decks where we're basically just trying to play Revenge a bunch of times to give us a bunch of life totals, or us a high life total, and to make our opponent essentially approach 0 but never get to 0. This is in this deck because not only is Revival actually pretty decent, it's creature card with mana 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, which hits literally everything but Eowyn. That is actually a thing that we can do, and the other reason that we have this in the deck is that Revenge is actually pretty good with this deck. If we can just generally hit pretty hard with this deck, but it's usually not to the range where we're one-shotting an opponent. So Revenge being able to set them down to half their starting life total is, or sorry, it's not even half their starting life total, it's actually just half their current life. That's actually pretty impactful, especially if we do this right before combat. Again, this deck has a number of situations where we're just trying to surprise our opponent and punch through for lethal, after setting up what is maybe not necessarily a super impressive board, but, you know, getting kind of ready. I'm excited to play this one. The games so far for me have been balls to the wall or just kind of okay. Sometimes we get stuck, sometimes we play removal-based decks that can deal with us efficiently, but, you know, we're core red-white, and that deck's always kind of had, or that kind of archetype has always kind of had issues. So we're going to do our best today, and we will see what we can do. Mardu humans, let's see what they got. Real quick before we hop into the games, if you've been enjoying the content, you can show your support by dropping a like on the video. It helps me out with the algorithm, and when you guys do that, it has been super impactful for the channel, so I thank you for it. Other than that, thank you for watching the video, obviously. That is important. And if you would like to get more of these kinds of videos in the future, do subscribe to the channel, and yeah, more or less that's it. Let's hop into some games. We got Mardu humans coming down the pipeline. Let's get in there. Okay, we got a round 1 coming up. We start off with this Esper Sentinel, which is great, actually. I'm going to keep this hand. Depending on how they play the first turn, I'll either play Invasion or Hero. But for now, it's going to be an Esper Sentinel every time, and then I'll decide on turn 2 when I'm going to play. They showed green-black, and this is interesting. So this is maybe some sort of rampy kind of deck. That means that Invasion of Gobekhan might be pretty good. Plus, I also want to know what I'm playing against. So let's just do this. It is a reanimation spell. Okay, so Collective Brutality. I think we want to get rid of this as our thing. We don't want to give them something to reanimate. And let's start using our Esper Sentinel to attack this invasion. I think my follow-up turn is going to be Hero of Precinct 1, and then we're going to try to get going with an Honored Prop Captain afterwards. Okay, so that may or may not be allowed to happen. They give us a card here, and now they're going to choose something here. I think Hero might be the choice. Being able to go wide is probably going to be an issue for them. Obviously, the graveyard hate is an issue as well, so we'll want to make sure that we protect our graveyard hate. Here's a Hero Precinct 1. Let's see if this comes in without a Boseiju channel. They actually can't do a Boseiju channel. Okay. So with only one land drop here, I'll just put in the Triome, and then we get to put Esper Sentinel onto the Invasion, and we're likely just going to flip that this turn, which is great. Our opponent needs to basically rush for a Sarah's Emissary as fast as possible. I'm actually not sure if they plan to get this in through the graveyard. It almost looks like they just want to hard cast it. Wonder what they have here. They can Collective Brutality, take something out of my hand. Looks like they're probably going to Collective Brutality me. Yeah, that makes sense. So we lose Hero Precinct 1. We get to draw a card. And I think... yeah, they have milled enough that I think this is a reanimation kind of deck. Okay. So that means that Sarah's Emissary isn't the best thing to have. Eowyn, I'm going to keep her in hand. If I shock here, I get to play two things. I can get double Honored Crop Captain out next turn, which is really good because that means I'll be able to get a second Invasion out. So we'll just get both of these. Oh, can't play that actually. What we can do is get an Invasion out, and I think I'll just do that to see what this other card is. Rise of the Lich King. I am glad that we got rid of that. Kind of a cool reanimation spell. This does bring a different angle to Reanimator and green-black. That's interesting. I'm curious about this deck. So now we're looking good. I don't think they have a play. Yeah, they just pass it right back. Wow. And I think it was that Invasion of Gobekon that won us the game right there. Cast it without knowledge, and honestly, I was not planning on doing that. I was planning on playing the second Honored Crop Captain, but I'm glad that I did what I did. Well, I think, honestly, we got kind of lucky there. I was on the edge of making a misplay, but the auto tapper and me not having the right mana actually saved me and won me the game. That's such a funny situation. Anyway, that was our round one. Let's hop into round two. Alright, round two coming up. We have an Invasion of Gobekon playset, half a playset in our hand. The issue is finding the black mana to cast the rest of it, though. This is Gigantha, which probably means that this is Wizards. So that means I don't want to take a creature-heavy hand. I'm going to put this one back. I think this is better. I'm going to get rid of Reinforcements, and we'll just play this one slow. If I shock in, I can play Invasion. I think I just want to use Esper Sentinel, however. So, with the Triome, Esper Sentinel, we'll see if they kill this. Looks like they're holding up Play with Fire, so this is probably going to die. At least we'll get a card out of it, so Esper Sentinel will have been worth. Okay, no, it's Consider instead. So, the fact that I'm seeing Consider and not the new One Ring Draw card spell makes me think that this is probably just the original version of, is it Wizards? Yeah, it definitely looks like that's the case. We'll see what they took here. Esper Sentinel is at least an annoying threat against them, so we do like to see that. I think I need to develop my board a bit more. Oh, it's Dreadhorde Arcanist, huh? So that means they get another Consider. If I play Hero of Precinct 1 now, I think honestly it just dies. So maybe I just put this in tapped, and I'm going to get an Invasion out. See what they have in hand. They have a lot of stuff. So they get to kill anything with Wizard's Lightning. They get to draw with Consider, or they get to play some creatures. They have the Mana Confluence next turn, so they'd be able to play a Symmetry Sage. So that means I should probably take a Static Discharge, maybe? Or possibly a Wizard's Lightning. I think probably Static Discharge, because that makes other Static Discharges better, but I think they have enough spells that they're going to be able to trigger things anyway, so maybe I just need to do Symmetry Sage or the other Dread Horde. I'm going to do Symmetry Sage. I want to see if they'll spend their entire turn playing it next turn. So meanwhile, we need to draw a untapped land so we can go Hero of Precinct 1 into Honored Crop Captain. That might be the only way we get out of this. I kind of regard our chances of winning this one as not very high. But we'll see how it goes. There's always a chance. Play to your outs. And who knows what you can't achieve. So they do spend their whole turn playing a Symmetry Sage. They're going to consider, so they don't have a removal spell yet for Dreadhorde Arcanist. I'd like to kill that at some point. Ooh, this is good. This is really good. They haven't put anything into the graveyard yet. But they're gonna eventually. So the issue here is they're gonna be able to just get a Wizard's Lightning into the graveyard, cast something. Actually, it can even just be Wizard's Lightning itself. So they'll be able to double Wizard's Lightning me here. We don't block this. So unfortunately, this means that unless I can kill Symmetry Sage, whatever I play is going to die. So that means I need to just kind of drop out an Honored Crop Captain and call it quits. So they get their double spell off here. I hope it just goes to the creatures instead of to my face. That's probably the best thing that we can do. Balmor, that kind of hurts. They can still get a Wizard's Lightning out to just absolutely ruin me. Not sure I feel too great about this one. Flipping an Invasion would be good, but the issue is that we can't really attack in, so it doesn't mean anything. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm surprised they didn't choose to do Wizard's Lightning. Maybe it's just to be more efficient. We get to draw our card. We do have our untapped land. I will get my hero in. They're going to play with fire my Esper Sentinel. Yep. So all I can do is just try to go wide with hero. Their graveyard is already empty, so Graveyard Hate doesn't do anything. Unfortunately, Symmetry Sage is going to make them be able to play around what I can do pretty well. Everything's got trample, so a block doesn't matter. We go to 5, and we're dead in a turn. Does Crucius do anything for me? I can't play anything at instant speed. I think we're just dead. Unfortunately, these things are not greater power than Eowyn, so there's problems here. I think all I can really do is just get a Crop Captain out. And our opponent's got us. I think we'll just go ahead and chill back and wait for the attack to come. If they do anything other than spend their mana on a spell that goes to the face, then I think we are just good to go. We'll wait for them to cast something, and if it goes to the face or makes their things big enough, then, yeah. Okay, they got it from here. Now we can concede. They showed us what they were going to do, how they were going to kill us. Okay, round 2, all done. Let's hop into round 3. Here we go. Okay, round 3, here we go. We got the Hero Precinct 1, which is good. I'll give it a try. So if I get Garena out early, then I'll be able to protect Hero with her. Alright, they're in with a Rivendell. So we got a brew here, potentially. Show them a triumph, let them know that we are also up to something funky. Field of Ruin. Ooh, a Vice Channeler. Now this might be an interesting deck. We get to have our Battlefield Forge out, and let's just put a Hero Precinct 1 in. See if it sticks around. Alright. Here is our Sundown Pass, and we can get a General Kudro out, but we need to have our protection in first. Okay, we'll exile their graveyard. Hope you weren't going to use that. And let's swing in with this, see if we can bait them into not blocking. Okay, so they're more aware than I give them credit for. And whereas we could have had like a shock or something to finish it off, I think that's probably not a very worthy worry to have. They play their whole, or they spend their whole turn to get a Narset out, which I will almost certainly be able to kill immediately. Ah, they found another Narset, that's why. Well, we'll go to our turn, and it looks like they're just going to be looking for a board wipe. That's unfortunate. We still haven't seen what card was perpetually 2 or less. This might actually be a Wheels deck. I think that's what this is. So they might have Commit to Memory in there. I've seen Geist Channeler be used in order to start to discount spells, so that once you start shuffling your graveyard and library back in, you can start to get a critical mass of discounting on your spells. So we'll see if that's what they're playing. Opponent seems to have forgotten to pass it back to me. Let's let them do that. Okay, they let me go. So we have 4 mana here. 4 mana allows us to potentially... Well, either way we can get a Narset dead. Maybe it's just Heroic Reinforcements, though. I think that's a good idea. We get to push some damage this way. Let's move to combat and swing, let's see, 2 of these at Narset and the rest at face. 2 at Narset is good because even if they block 1, Narset goes to 1. That means they can't activate it, and they'll still have to Legend Rule her to the next copy that they want to play. And we can give things indestructible if they do have a board wipe. Cool. So Geist Channeler dies. We can threaten a win here.
Still have much to learn.
They don't know about the second Heroic Reinforcements. Okay, the 1 ring, sure. That does buy them a turn. Honored Crop Captain is going to be my play in that case. Okay, they let me draw. Oh, we got double Honored Crop Captain. That is going to be a huge turn coming up. Cool. Alright, we've made a huge board. We can't attack, unfortunately, so we'll just pass through. They get to draw with their 1 ring, and they're going to start bleeding life. So that's something that they'll have to avoid dying from. Let's see what happens. So destroy all non-land permanents. We will counter that effectively. And I'm not sure if they just didn't see this, but that is fine. Okay, they might have just missed that, or they just didn't have enough, or they didn't have a proper response. But cool, we take round 3. Alright, let's hop into round 4 and see what we can do with this deck. Here we go. Alright, round 4 coming up. We have an Esper Sentinel start, Revival can get something back, and then we have Invasion of Gobakhan. I don't think this has enough creatures for me to be excited about it. This is cool, we have Horn of Gondor. I haven't gotten to play that yet. Let's try it. We'll toss back the Revival. And this is cool. Let's go. Okay, so this is looking like Artifact Storm. So I want to get an Invasion out first, and then if not that, then Esper Sentinel after. We need to clip their payoff right away. Here's Invasion. Because they're on artifacts, the board should be pretty clear. Oh, it's just ramp, actually. So Murex, what can they copy? They can copy any one of these things. I think Maze Mind Tome I'd rather that they didn't have, and then we just have to kill them before they Ugin us. So I want to get a Crucius out now. Yeah, Crucius is good because he's a 3-3. That gets me moving to start. We can discard Heroic Reinforcements going for something smaller, or we can get rid of Horn of Gondor. Or we'll get rid of what we draw. Yeah, maybe we'll just get rid of this land. Here's a Crucius. They can do whatever their artifact stuff is. We're going to get an invasion of Gobakon next turn unless they remove something. Discard this. We'll go Greater. Double Heroic Reinforcements. We might just need to use that in order to kill our opponent. I think Heroic Reinforcements into one of Horn of Gondor or an Esper Sentinel would be good. Let's start with Heroic Reinforcements because things can grow with Gobakon. They do have a Guardian Idol, so this can... How big can this get? It is a 2-2, so we'll send this here and these two at face, I guess. See if they do want to activate Guardian Idol. Looks like they don't. I prefer that because this makes these creatures more or less unblockable for them. And I actually didn't really do my check of how much mana they have. They have 4, 5, 6 mana. They're going to be one off of Ugin, but that actually does not make me very comfortable. So I need to get rid of my Esper Sentinel, go lower to find a land. And then I think I can push lethal this turn. Crystal Grotto, sure. 5, 6, 7. This doesn't actually make a mana. Alright, I think we're okay. Alright, we've dodged an Ugin for one turn. I'm going to have to do some mana here to see if we're going to survive, though. We can't deal with an Ugin minus. They're passing. They give me Guardian Idol. So I have exactly enough mana to do what I want here, which is Heroic Reinforcements. This gets me a 1, so this gets me 2 2s and makes these all 1 bigger. So assuming Crucius gets chump blocked, that's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's not enough. Horn of Gondor is colorless, but it makes colored permanent, so Ugin will still get it. Eowyn has haste. That doesn't matter either. I might need to use Eowyn in order to kill a Ugin that comes down. I'm going to shock a Godless Shrine so that I can save this treasure, because I'm going to need to ramp out. If I Heroic Reinforcements and then Eowyn later, I might be able to sneak in. I'm going to probably discard the Savai Triome. So we swing in. I think they have to block 5. I have 15 damage on board, so they chump block Crucius. Yeah, makes sense. So they go to 8. We get triggers. Discard a Savai Triome, we're going Greater. We find backup Crucius. So they spend their turn Ugining now. They're going to go down by 3, I suppose. So that means Ugin is at 4 loyalty, which means that Eowyn doesn't kill him. Oh, man. Eowyn will survive the uptick, though, so this might be okay. Inventor's Fair is going to keep him alive, which sucks. Okay. This is going to be an Ugin minus, if I am imagining correctly. Yep, X equals 3. We'll just activate this, and things will die anyway, or things will get exiled anyway. Goodbye, board. And let's see. So if I keep Crucius, he dies, it has to be Eowyn. Eowyn plus Garena. Exile Graveyard, humans control, you gain Hexproof and Indestructible. That doesn't matter, but it is a body. Crucius would make another treasure. I think I have to play like this. I'm just going to curve out, try to kill Ugin. And maybe that'll be enough to make things okay. But then Garena just dies. So maybe I don't play her. I think I can't. We swing at their Ugin. That means it can't minus. Should be okay. We have to avoid things that can make things. So their Mirrex can get in the way. That sucks. Horn of Gondor might actually be a win condition in this specific matchup. Yeah, they gained some more life here. This one's starting to slip away. Chromatic Star, so they're looking for an answer, which means they don't have it. At the very least, I'm not playing against combo, at least as far as I'm aware. So, we're not dead yet. The Crawling Barons is a problem. They can animate it this turn, so I gotta watch out for that. I say we move to combat first. Swing in. They're gonna have to activate something to deal with Ugin. Yep, there's Crawling Barons coming in for the chump block. I'm glad that it is just a chump block. They're not getting the most usage out of that, and they don't block. Looks like I can't kill it, unfortunately. I think I'm going to Crucius plus Horn of Gondor. Discard Garena going up. Colors, I think I'm okay taking black. I have pretty much the same of everything. Horn of Gondor, Crucius. Make another creature. Crucius, auto pay. Get rid of Garena. And we go greater. Okay, Revival Revenge. Maybe there's something here. Do I want anything out of my graveyard? Oh man, okay, so we just lost our board again. That's a bummer. So we need to play a creature before we can start using Horn of Gondor. I don't think they care about their graveyard. Really, all I can do is get a Esper Sentinel back. I can double my life total, give me some time. I'll do that next turn. So on their end step, I'll make a little bit more. Target card, let's get rid of... So if they're playing Scrap Trawler, they can actually get some of these things back. I highly doubt they're getting another Ugin, so I'm going to take Guardian Idol. We'll pass. I couldn't really get anything super interesting out of the graveyard. It's just an Esper Sentinel. So we just need to keep landing impactful creatures. We need to find those Hero Precinct 1s. And unfortunately our opponent is almost back at full health. I didn't really think about this, but General Kudra just dies to Ugin activation. Alright, we gotta activate this in response. Make some humans. Well, one human, I guess. Get to exile Chromatic Star. And unfortunately can't destroy any creatures yet. I think I might just need to take another creature back. I don't really know. I think I might need to use the revival side of this. Oh, and this is combo, actually. It's Paradox Engine combo. So they have all the mana in the world right now. And if they can generate enough, that means that they can Crawling Barons me for lethal. So this just kind of became more of a keep myself alive instead of keep my opponent closer to death. Forsaken. Okay, yeah, that's the mana producer they needed. I think they might have me. They need to deal with my 1/1 though. Another Maze Mind Tome, that makes sense. They're sitting on 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana in activations. Second Crawling Barrens. They're going to tap their mana. It's not over yet. So if it comes down to it, I can Revival Revenge to try to keep them away from a potential Aetherflux turn. But yeah, this is not looking too great. They need 26 mana in order to make a lethal Crawling Barrens after killing my 1 creature. I'm going to let them execute their combo until they can show me what is going to kill me, and then I'll concede. Blast Zone does not kill this. They can Karn for a removal spell, so if that's it, then they got me. I don't know if they have enough to make it work this turn, though. Do they find the 1 ring? Oh, that's cool. It's a Keening Stone combo, so they're going to just mill me out. This is kind of cool. I actually haven't seen this one before, so I guess we will stay around and see how this ends for us. So we mill X cards, and then that just goes exponential from there. Really cool deck. This is a funny combo. And then they just continue to do this. I don't see where their card draw is, though. I suppose it's just in Hedron Archive and Mind Stone. And I guess Maze Mind Tome, too. Alright, and we'll let the final one go off here. And it's a double Paradox Engine. That will do it. They are chock full of their in their artifact section over here, and we are finally milled out. Opponent gets to pass it to us, and we are going to drop in an empty library and lose the game. Okay, so that was actually kind of surprisingly refreshing take on Artifact Storm. Alright, so that was our round 4. We got a final round coming up here with our Mardu Humans deck. Let's see if we can end it on a high note. Okay, final round coming up. We can curve Invasion of Gobekon into a Crucius, so that seems fine. Maybe a Garena. It's possible Jarena's better. Ooh, now that I see Elvish Mystic, I think... Ooh, oh man, this is difficult. I wish I could kill that, but I guess I can't, so I need to take whatever their next mana dork is. That next mana dork is... not a mana dork. In fact, they just want to get a Steel Leaf Champion out. So we will blank their next turn, hopefully. They just play an elf and go in. Oh, it's Ranger class. Okay, sure. I think I need to start going wide sooner rather than later. I'll play the Crucius first, though, but that means that next turn I get a 2-spell play. Discard the land. Oh, I can't take the land. I'm gonna have to go Eowyn down. Lesser. I need the ability to find some more things here. Questing Beast is gonna just run me over. I will just eat this. Surprisingly, I want to play it like that. Okay, so 4th land or a Triumph. I'll do the Triumph, double spell, hopefully find a blocker here. And then we still have more mana next turn. Exile your graveyard, then won't bother attacking. We'll end turn, discarding our second Crucius. We'll go Greater. Eowyn finally has a target that it can exile. And then our legendary creatures will have protection, meaning that Crucius can kill Invasion and Garena can go at face. It was almost perfect. Hexproof and Indestructible. I guess I kind of need Crucius to stick around, so I will do this. Toski, you got it. This we will definitely just block since Crucius won't die. Nice. And do I discard Honored Crop Captain? I don't think I do. I think I'll discard the land and go up. So, Eowyn, here we go. Bam, exile Questing Beast. Finally did it, let's go. Move to combat and we swing this in, we swing this in, we swing this in, and I mean, I guess they can block the human. Yeah, they can block it if they want. I'm just trying to grow the 1/1. We're gonna take some damage on the crackback, I guess. I think it's worth it to do it that way, though. Can't block it. Cool. So my attacking with this 1/1 actually was a good thing. Let's go. We will end the turn discarding the land. We'll go Greater. And we're really close. We're really, really close. We're just looking for that draw that pushes it over the edge. They can play their Steel Leaf Champion, but they don't have blockers if they do that. Gonna need to see what they want to do here. It is the Steel Leaf Champion. We definitely make this trade, or this chump block. Don't want to give them a card. Revival Revenge. They go to 8. They can block a 4/4, which means that we have enough to kill them. Oh my gosh. We're going to revenge our opponent. Crazy. And we just go in with everything, and I think our opponent's dead. Wow, I never thought I would play this in a deck on this channel. That was not just like a jank deck. I think we've done it. Our opponent may just sit there and concede, so I will probably just edit the video to speed that up for you guys. I'll do my outro now, though. If you guys have enjoyed the content today, I'm glad to have you around. If you want to show support for the channel, you can drop a like on the video, which helps me out a lot with the algorithm and with YouTube in general. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, you can subscribe if you're not already to get videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday covering all the new sets, all the new things going on Historic, and things like that. With that being said, that's pretty much it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed Mardu Humans, and I will see you in the next video. Enjoy watching the rope finish up here, and I will, see you in the next video. Peace out.